Yo, it's ODB, and I've got an update for you. Thank you for coming back. If you're new, please consider subscribing. I want to give a huge shout out to my friend Sean at RAD BMX Builds. He's ever inspiring. Of course, I'm a subscriber on Instagram to his awesome content, but I also check out his YouTube videos. He builds amazing bikes. We've had him on OLP a couple of times. We can't thank him enough. He's a veteran of the U.S. Military. So thank you again, Sean, for your service, and thanks for all the support. Now, I want to give you an update on something I've been working on. I'm going to do more of these videos, and again, definitely inspired by my friend Sean at RAD BMX Builds. I'm working on something I've had on my list a long time. I've had this Cru Jones tribute bike for many years, and it's not 100% screen accurate. I never intended for it to be. The prices are getting very, very high on some of these items, but it brings me a lot of joy. My MiniGoose as a child, I had so much fun on it, and this bike just by itself brings back a lot of great memories. I had picked up a few years ago a MiniGoose. I got it for what I thought was a good deal. It still wasn't cheap, but it had some good parts on it, some good bones. And what I finally have done, seeing Sean over at RAD BMX Builds kind of put together his Cru Jones tribute bike, and made me want to go ahead and get my MiniGoose put together so that I can go and create a Christian Hollings bike. If you're not familiar with that, the movie RAD, which came out on March 21st, 1986, Christian Hollings is played by her character by Lori Loughlin, of all people. And of course, that cult classic is an awesome movie for many of us. It was just a great time in our childhood. And what I'm doing is I'm putting together basically a tribute bike for the Christian Hollings bike. I want to give a shout out to my friend Devin at RAD RAD Racing Movie Cars. He's the guy that had put together the Blazer. I don't know if he still owns it. I think he was possibly gonna sell it. So I can't remember if he did sell it, but he had, of course, a couple of the tribute bikes as well. So it was cool at Hell Track 2018 getting a chance to see that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to unbag a couple of things that showed up today, and then I'm going to show you a little bit closer view of the bikes. Now, what I did was I put together a list, which I think is key. I know Sean does this a lot. He likes to get all of his parts together, and then he'll start putting things together. What I did was I used my iOS Notes app. I make a kind of a checklist, to-do list, if you will, some of the things I want to do. I'll show you what I've done recently on these two bikes. And then, of course, I had to put together a list of items that I needed for the build. Now, everything has not arrived, but because these bikes were already put together and I've had them for a long time, at least this one here on your right, I kind of felt like I could move some of these parts around, and that's why I started the project before everything came in. So, as Sean always talks about, a lot of these parts are readily available on eBay. So you can go on eBay, that's where I picked up these parts. And of course, they're gonna be what they refer to as repops. So, a lot of times the parts you buy, you don't even know 100% if they're original. But I certainly, with where I'm at, and kind of being a hobbyist with this stuff and kind of bringing it back to my childhood, much like Sean has said in the past, yeah, it's cool to get some NOS stuff here and there, and I'm certainly all for that. However, with these two bikes, again, they're not going to be 100% screen accurate, nor are they going to be all NOS parts. Now, I really, really appreciate when people put those bikes together, but I just knew that, with me being a Lincoln guy, I've got Lincoln parts to buy. I'm a mini trucker. I want to buy parts for my truck. I didn't want to go spend $400 on pedals or an exuberant amount on parts themselves. So what I ended up picking up here on eBay, again, is I got the front and rear brakes. And of course, that's going to be a key thing I'm going to show you here in just a minute, because this was a MiniGoose. It looks cool in photos, but when you have a MiniGoose, all of the parts are kind of reduced in size a little bit. The handlebars and things like that, even the wheels, they were pro class, but I think they're 1 3/4 inch wide. So, you have to kind of deal with that. So what I ended up doing is I said, look, it's missing a brake anyways. Let me get 2 brakes. I'll update it, and I'll do a few other things. And before you know it, I'll have a Christian Hollings tribute bike. Let's take a look. But wait, I almost forgot. I do have one more item to unbox. I'll do that really quick. So basically the delivery person delivered 2 packages. The one package I showed you, which is the new brakes front and rear, and this item that came from Flight. Now, I will tell you, Flight is on eBay, but if you go to some of Sean's videos, and I think the code on Flight's website is RAD BMX builds, if I remember correctly. Anytime I'm trying to support someone, I'll click the affiliate link if they have one, or I'll enter that code, and it will save you, I believe it was 10% off. So if you buy this on eBay, you're gonna pay a little bit more, because if you just go on their website or anything that they have, you can use that RAD BMX code. So again, shout out to Sean. Now, in addition to this, they sent a thank you for the purchase. So I have purchased from Flight in the past, and of course they've got their little kind of giveaway here to reinforce what they've got going on. They also included a cool sticker. So who doesn't love stickers? You know, ODB, I love my stickers. Now, these number plates are not cheap. People have of course, manufactured these over the course of time. I had did some recon. Although I say these are not going to be screen accurate, what I mean by that is they will be to an extent of me trying to keep it affordable, okay? I would love to make them 100% screen accurate, but when you start talking like, you know, the original parts and paying a lot for the pedals and all that stuff, yeah, maybe over the course of the time, I'll chip away a little bit at that. But for now, I'm gonna keep it as affordable as I can. Now, I do want it to be as screen accurate as I can, so that's why I ended up with this. Again, shout out to Flight. These number plates are not cheap. People, of course, are remanufacturing these, and here's what I'll tell you. I talked to the guy that makes the Cru Jones replica number plate 33. He said, hey, Jay, I wish I could make that one for you. At the moment, I can't, okay? He's making more of the translucent type, more of the non-solid colors, okay? He gave me some intel that it was a D1 or D2 dyno number plate. And if it was a D1, Flight had the D2 or vice versa. And the one thing that I've noticed is if you watch the movie, especially on 4K, you've got this little bit of an arch, okay? And although, like I said, I'm not gonna maybe be 100% screen accurate with all the original parts, I do love details. And of course, this one, this dyno plate, number plate, it has the little bit of an arch to it. And again, you know, you start getting down to those little details, and if that's something that interests you, cool. If it's not, I've seen plenty of the Christian Hollings bikes, and when I zoom in, it just has the flat number plate. Hey, that's super cool too as well. But this is what I wanted to go with. Now, again, these aren't cheap. What you're gonna find is this number plate will maybe surpass some of the other prices that you're adding to your cart, depending on, you know, how accurate you're looking to go. So I'm super stoked. Again, this just showed up. Shout out to Flight. They've got cool stuff. I bought a bike from them in the past, and I know Sean has affiliate links. I may end up getting the donuts for my Cru Jones bike. They've got some new RAD pads and things like that. I'm not affiliated with Flight. I'm just a fan. So huge shout out to them. With that being said, those are the few items that showed up. Let's get ready for RAD Day, which is March 21st. That coincides with the original release date of RAD in movie theaters, March 21st, 1986, the amazing year of 86. So this was filmed in 85. And I'm gonna show you the bikes now, and then we'll wrap up this video. Let's do it. All right, so the number plate is gonna go on here, but not with those handlebars, okay? I mentioned this was a MiniGoose. Again, you gotta be careful, and I knew what I was buying, but just for anybody that wants to eventually get a bike, the way the photos are taken on some of these mini style bikes, they can appear to be like a regular size kind of 20-inch bike. So you got to be careful. I've known a few people over the course of time that bought a bike. They thought they got a good deal. And it's not that it's a bad bike. It's just, you know, it's a mini, so some of the parts are smaller. I mean, look at the seat. I don't think that's the original seat. I mean, I know it's not, but it just looks a little different. Now, it looked a lot more different, but what I ended up doing recently is the wheels from this bike came off and they went on here. I picked up these tires from Tony Boss Bolin. He had those in stock with his old stuff. I also picked up a new an old school set of Pro Class wheels. I was not able to find the tape. So what I ended up doing was I hit up some of the forums and people said, hey, get this reflective blue tape. And that's what I ended up doing. I did that last night, and I taped the inside kind of backwards, if you will. This is the non-sticky side of the tape. So the sticky side of the tape is up. And then what you end up doing is you have to buy these little deals. Now, this is one of two that I bought, but I had an original. And these go around. And for the most part, that's so that if you had an inner tube on the inside of here, you don't want it to hit the inside of the spokes and pop the tire. So basically on these Pro Clash, you end up with the blue tape or whatever color tape. And then you've got this rubber band, if you will, that kind of goes around it. So I did that last night. So this got the Pro Class wheels with the tires I had on it. This got the leftover. So I got rid of these guys. These are the Pro Class. These are original. I'm probably going to just end up selling these. These have so a little bit of age to them, but they're still in good condition. So those are going to end up probably being sold. So in addition to, I had for years a set of Pro Class bars. The Pro Class bars, the handle or the crossbar is higher up. That's technically what the Cru Jones bike had in the film. And the leftover handlebars, if you will, from the Cru Jones bike are going to go on here, and you can kind of see the difference. It's going to look a lot better. Now, again, when I say these aren't going to be 100% screen accurate, if you think about, these bikes, and I know some people will say, well, the bike that Cru raced in Hell Track, that technically wasn't even a Mongoose, it was a Murray. Look, we totally get all that. But this is known as a Cru Jones tribute. This is known, of course, as a Christian Hollings. Neither of these are 85s. One's an 83, one's an 84. And they don't have the badging here. They have just the sticker. So, again, they're not going to be 100% accurate. Christian Hollings, she had the black wheels, which I didn't realize actually until recently. And I don't think she had the dice like the Cru Jones bike had. So, but you can see, look, you can make this as expensive and as technical as you want. I'm just doing this for fun. I want to have these displayed with my mini truck and whatnot. So the handlebars are going to get swapped. The new brake lines, which again, I know they may not be screen accurate for the color, those are going to go on. So I'll have front and rear. I've got a new laid back tube that's coming. It's not the 30-degree one, but it's still laid back. It's going to look a lot better than that. I've got a new seat coming. Yes, this is going to be gone. These grips will be gone as well because it's going to get the new handlebars, well, new to this bike, and it's going to get the Mongoose grips in red. So for the most part, pretty soon this bike will be transformed. And if you really look at the original photos versus even where it's at now, it looks so much better. A couple things that I'll say that maybe over the course of time is I'll change this guy setup out to something like this, the chain ring. And I'm not a fan of these pedals, okay? I know these are not screen accurate. I totally get it. I'll probably end up with a pedal similar to this, maybe not the exact one as the Cru Jones bike, but you get the point. So I'll have a Christian Hollings bike with a number 1 on it with these handlebars. Of course, wheels and tires are already changed. Seats coming soon. All of this is going to start coming together. And then, of course, I've got the Cru Jones with the number 33. I've got the red. I've got two different, but I've got this red handkerchief on there for now. It's got the Skyway pegs. These ROG. That's one item that is. It's got the nicer brakes on it. It has a guy in Canada that used to do some pretty cool stuff, RAD pads. He custom made these for me. And I do have the other pieces. Mine are signed by Bill Allen and Eddie Fiola from the Hell Track 2018 event. So those are going to go on it. I typically leave them inside, but they'll go on, of course. There's a few other little details that you could really dial in, but for the most part, I'm thankful for what I've got, and I'm just having fun with what I got. So there you have it. Shout out to RAD BMX Builds again for inspiring me. Also shout out to poor boy Steve. He launches some cool stuff. Love all the RAD stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I thank you so much for watching. If you watched till the end, consider subscribing. Stay old school. Stay on the rise. ODB. I approve this message.